Alright folks, welcome to another modern stream. We're going to be playing some Karn AmuLIT, my favorite version of AmuLIT. I love Karn a lot. So this is a list that a member of the AmuLIT Discord and the Primetime Stronghold Discord, both of them, Bedell has been doing well with. He top 8, I think he top 4 one of the challenges over the weekend. And it's an interesting idea. It's based a little bit off of Punt and Wines. Of course, Punt is running 29 lands and is playing one more steerings. Where here we're only playing 2 steerings, which I honestly like. I think that steerings is fine, but I think that you can definitely have too many of them. So probably I'm not too sad about that really. We only have 2 explorers, so 4 Stacy, 2 explorers, 1 Azusa, 3 Dryads. It is a little bit on the low side as far as ramp spells go, but we have access to a couple of Turn Timber. They are just land drops, of course, but just follow this list. Yeah, it's interesting. We're gonna see how it actually works out. So we have a couple of Turn Timbers. The one thing that I am a little bit intrigued about, honestly, is how is the Turn Timber with the red splash going to work out? Of course, the splash is for Lightning Bolt, and we can get access to the red sources through Gruul Turf. We also are playing Stomping Ground, a couple of Alakettes, and Windswept Heath and Misty Rainforest, both of them. So that makes up for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 red sources in the deck, which is bad. It's really, really bad. That's an extremely low amount of sources for your splash card that you want to be casting on turns 1 and 2. So we're gonna see how it works out, but this is definitely greedy to me. Usually if I am trying to play Turn Timber, I don't think that splashing is particularly easy to achieve. Yeah, you do have Dryads, but like that's the best case scenario, right? If you have a Dryad against the bold deck, against the decks against which you want bold, that means that you didn't die yet, which is you're probably just doing fine because you're not dead yet. So definitely a little bit on the greedy side. So because of that, I don't think I like the second field, for example. This seems like it could be something else, right? It could be something that gives us a colored mana. This could be a Crumbling Vestige. The mana base is really greedy for my personal taste. I usually try to make sure that my mana bases are as stable as possible, and this is definitely very on the greedy side, to the point where on the uncomfortable greedy side. Like I'm not comfortable playing with this list. We're gonna see how it actually plays out in practice, but I think that we're gonna be missing our sources very often. We just talked about Lightning Bolt. This is an interesting one. I honestly am not sure whether I would rather splash red for Bolt. I mean, the red splash is always the easiest one to achieve because we're already just playing Valakut, so it's definitely not free, but it is the easiest one to pull off. The problem I have with Lightning Bolt is that it's really bad against the shadow decks, and they have started popping up a lot. So I'm not so sure how that's going to work out and whether it's going to be worth it. 100% Lightning Bolt shines against humans, which saw a pretty high uptick in popularity. So we're gonna see how that works out. We discussed this on the podcast today about maybe splashing for blood something thirst. I always forget the name of this stupid card. This guy, Blood Chief's Thirst. So that is something that I definitely wanted to experiment with and kind of try out. Probably not today. Maybe I'll try that out tomorrow. But the idea is that those removal spells are very efficiently at killing not only the Death Shadows of the world and the Scourges as well, but also Red and 6 and maybe even Ashiok. So yeah, the sideboard, we have 3 disputes. Big question mark about this. I don't know what we want the disputes against, and they are also awful against all the control decks, so I'm not sure why we want 3 copies of dispute before we play some copies of Aether Gust. Edigas just seems a lot better against the current meta than Dispute is. Pact of Negation and Tormod Script are, well, this is just the Karn package, right? We have Tormod Script as part of the Karn package, which I think is good, by the way. I think that Tormod Script is actually in a good spot. It covers a bunch of the new combo decks that have been popping up. And then, of course, Coding, Wormcoil Engine, Explosives, and Ballista. We're gonna see how this list works out. I saw it and I was a little bit like, there's some things that I like. I like that, you know, we were able to fit the Turn Timber within the Karn deck. That's fine. I like the only 2 steerings instead of 3 and the 29 lands to fit more toolbox lands, but I feel like it's a very greedy list. We're gonna see how it works out. Alright. Playing against Base Builder. Played a few lists with 4 bolts in the hand, it's been awesome. Yeah, but the list that I played with the 4 bolts in the sideboard were with like 12 sources or something like that, 11 or 12 sources, which is a lot more than 9. I miss more artifacts in the side. I think that it's very 5. If you have more than 5 artifacts in your sideboard, you might be doing it wrong, honestly. If either one of these were a Titan, I would definitely keep, because we would only be missing one single. Even on the draw, I think I would consider keeping this hand. On the play, I think I'm gonna ship it. This is a lot better. A heck of a lot better. Am I shipping Karn here? I think I'm shipping Karn. Lurrus burn? Yeah, burn. Alright, I'd rather get access to more info before I do anything, so I'm gonna play Stacy here. If he gets Syrian Blazed, whatever, we don't really care. But before I go on exploring, I feel like I want to have access to a little bit more information. Eilon. So now we actually can Titan? Sweet. 1, 2, bounce these, I guess. No, I'm gonna keep this. Bounce. We're gonna end up with the Gruul Turf in hand here, I think. So we haste, we get a green source. Yeah, this is fine. So Primeval Titan. Yes. We can even get Stomping Ground here, which is a... Because we're not going to get to... Oh, we are going to get to trigger Valakut. That's not going to be lethal though, right? Yeah, that allows me to gain life, which I'm interested in doing. So we attack, yes. Gonna get Fountain and Growth Chamber. So if I bounce this, yeah, I guess I don't care about this. I'd rather just gain the life. This is life neutral. That's fine. Sweet. So now we have double green, so we can pay for our pact. Yeah, I think we're in good shape here. Why didn't I play both Explorer and Stacy? I explained that, Hatelix. Before playing the Explorer, I wanted to make sure that I had more information. Now, even my opponent can kill like this Titan, but still kind of doesn't really matter. Because we just kill them with the Dryad. So. Sure. No blocks. So, Gruel Turf. Bounce this. Play Dryad. Bad luck with you. We see a Silver Shield. Play this. And haste. Playing less than 35 lands. I just copied the list from Videl. Talked about it in the deck tech at the beginning. We're a little bit short lands here with this list. This is rough. I'm gonna try a punt strategy and not side out the Karns. I think that I don't like this strategy, but it's only one way to find out, really. So every land is a pain land. It's probably okay. On the draw it's a little bit rough, but Gobble on 1 is painful. Bolt off the top would be sick. Stacy. Radiant Fountain would also be awesome. Cavern of Souls. Definitely not blocking here. If Stacy survives, I'm probably gonna bold myself with Turn Timber just so I can make a turn. That's a lot. Okay, so I guess that I'm not gonna do that I just said that I was gonna do. I guess we're not doing that one. So we play this. We're probably gonna play a T-West tapped. And I don't think we play around Boros Charm here. Where are the walls for? Mainly ERC right now. So much as I'm thinking about trying to white with 3 path and Chameleon Colossus. Yeah, we tried Chameleon Colossus in the previous league and we didn't get paired against Shadow, and it was bad because we didn't get paired against Shadow. So I'm gonna block here. Gonna bolt there. Boros Charm is a blowout, granted. No Boros Charm is good. Put the T-West into play. Skewer. Karn. Yeah, we don't have time for that, so we're gonna have to Asusa. Then we're going to play this tapped, then play this on Giant, and I guess I'm gonna play another Lurrus tapped. This means the next turn I'm gonna be able to Vesuva copy my Radiant Fountain. We might just be dead here if my opponent has like Skullcrack and Step and then 2 burn spells. We're dead, but How much is the no league, chat? I want to submit AmuLIT Titan with 4 Colossus instead of Titan. There you go. That would definitely qualify as meme deck. Master Chipmunk. That would certainly qualify as meme deck. That's definitely a mistake from opponents. They probably have Syrian Blazes and they made them worse by fetching for no reason. Am I getting slow rolled here? I guess even if I am getting slow rolled, it doesn't matter because I can't beat getting slow rolled. So I can go up to 10. Not playing AmuLIT because I value gaining the life a lot more. So we're gonna do Simid Growth Chamber Radiant Fountain here. If they have Skullcrack, I think we might die. But if they don't, I think that we're going to stabilize. Lightning Helix we can beat. Okay, so now they need to draw exactly. Now they need to draw exactly Boros Charm. And I'm not gonna play the AmuLIT because we can play, very safely play around Smash to Smithereens. No need to expose myself to Smash. We do die to Boros Charm, we do die to 2 1-mana burn spells, and we beat everything else. That's an early concession. That's a very early concession. Whatever, I'll take it. Neobrand for 30? Yeah, I know. I don't like playing Neobrand. This hand's a little bit too slow for my taste. This hand is significantly better. Bottom one, Stacy. Okay, we might be playing against Black Red Shadow. Not a bad draw. I guess it could just be Jaunt, which would be a disaster. I guess it could have been a disaster, but it wasn't. I'm thinking whether I want to protect this or not. I think I'd rather get my lands into play. Like, Thoughtseize is going to be good regardless because they're going to take my Karn, so... It is Jaunt. Man, there really are hopeful people out there on MTGO. So I guess if they have exactly land Bloodbraid, we might be in trouble, but otherwise we're in fine shape. Yeah, with this guy we can beat. It's actually oddly annoying. How do I prevent Liliana from being a problem? Can I prevent Liliana from being a problem? Not really, right? I guess I'm gonna have to go get Ballista. Shit, yeah, okay. No, coding doesn't do anything because my opponent has ways to clock the Karn. So, because they have way to clock the Karn, ways to clock the Karn. I mean, decoding doesn't do anything for me. Or is the Spyglass? I never play Spyglass in my sideboards. I do sometimes play Piding Needle though. Piding Needle is an option, certainly so. Maybe my opponent will minus the Liliana? That would be great. Minus, 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 minus. I mean, if I draw another Titan off the top, we might be in okay shape here. It's not quite. In fact, that's a land that I kind of don't even want to play. Yeah, we're not in good shape here. Not in good shape. Yeah, I had to draw a Titan there. If I had drawn a Titan, we were probably going to be winning this game pretty handily, but six, 7, 8, 9 plus 4 is 13. And now we're further away from activating field, so we're just at here. Bounce turn timber, why? Bounce in turn timber doesn't do anything, it just exposes it to Thoughtseize. Well, the sideboard seems very, very poorly prepared against Chun. This sideboard does literally nothing for me. I guess I just submit the same main deck, which makes me really sad because I have a bunch of Stacies that are going to die miserably to Ren and 6s. I'm trying to think if I'd rather have bolts or Stacies. I think I just dislike Stacy so much that I'm gonna be bringing in the bolts instead. This is bad, and this is just like a perfect example of why I was talking about in the beginning about using Blood Chief's Thirst. Is that the name of the card? About splashing for that card instead of splashing for Lightning Bolt, because Lightning Bolt just falls short in a variety of situations. This being a great example. against this shadow also being a great example. Think about Karn amulets versus Green BX. Of course, I said it's better than this one. That is a strategy that worked many years ago, and it doesn't work anymore because the black-green decks are actually able to keep up with you. Back in the day, they couldn't, so you would just like grind them down, and it would be very, very easy to do so. Now that's just not a strategy that's viable anymore. Because Bloodbraid Elf, Fulminator Mage, Ashiok, they put so much pressure on you that you cannot really... Like, it's not necessarily to your advantage for the game to go longer and longer. Like, you actively want to be closing the door. Before, it kind of didn't really matter. Ryan is going to be good for them. Playing Castle because... Like, it's really bad if my opponent plays Ashiok now, but I am trying to give myself the chance of drawing what's his name? A bounce land here. Actually, if we draw a bounce land, we're in really, really good shape if my opponent doesn't Ashiok right now. If this is Liliana, that's fine. We can beat Liliana. Okay. It's gonna be a K commit? They just do nothing? Well, we can beat this. If this is what my opponent's doing, I think that we can beat this. That's good for us. Okay, so we're gonna copy the Raging Ravine and we just slam a Titan. And now we have enough resources that even if this Titan gets answered, we legit don't care. So we're fine here. I could go for Haste the Zombie. I think I'd rather bounce Stellaria. And they didn't have Thoughtseize last turn, so I guess I'm going to transmute right now. Surgical my summoners back. If you're playing against AmuLIT, let me recommend you a strategy that just does not work. Let me talk to you about a strategy that does not work against AmuLIT. Wait until your opponent resolves their Primeval Titan, then surgical them. That strategy does not work, folks. So I would strongly recommend trying out something different there. Sure, let's get a field. It gives me more flexibility after they answer my Titan. Chance to much recent play Bold instead of Path and almost none to play Thirst. Maybe I'm just wrong. We discussed that at the beginning of the stream, Sweatpants. There's actually very many reasons to be playing Thirst over both of the options that you just talked about. Ashiok? Ashiok? How am I ever going to beat Ashiok? Is my opponent a minuser? Oh yeah, of course they are a minuser. So which one of my answers to my opponent's board state am I going to go with? Lol. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we kill Ashiok, bring Rain down to 1. We Karn minus. For what? We can also Karn plus. What's up, John? How's it going? But how? They got my battlements. How am I supposed to win now? Yeah, let's go with this. They can bolt my Karn. It's kind of whatever. Like, I kind of don't care. Yeah, I mean, surgical extraction cannot be your plan if you're playing Jund. If you're playing Mill or something like that, then it's a little bit better. You just have so many better options. Like, I don't know what my opponent decided out to make room for those surgical extractions, but even if it was a lightning bolt, it would have been probably better than that surgical. The reason why my opponent lost again, obviously, is because they had no pressure whatsoever. So yeah, medium keep, but it's the kind of hand that you do tend to keep against Jund. It's fine. My opponent's gonna play like a Discard spell or two. Maybe they take my amulet. Maybe they don't. Doesn't matter too much. Probably take my Dryad. Might be the better option. Maybe they surgical my amulets. We just gotta find lands here. Turn 2 Goif. Okay, so my opponent has a clock now, which is different to what they had going on last game, right? Like that last game, they didn't do anything for a million turns, and we were able to win very, very easily. Now they actually have pressure, so this game is probably going to play out vastly differently. Pitching one of these packs. Hey, Common Sense, how's it going? We're doing well here. Playing some Amulet, obviously. I did play the Forest. I want to give myself the out of drawing exactly Castle here. See what they got. Terminate for my Dryad. This means that Liliana keeps up ticking, which is bad for us, and that's a lot of pressure. Alright, so if we draw a castle, we're going to win. And the other thing that can help us is... No, because Liliana's gonna... Fuck. Yeah, we're in trouble now. We're in a lot of trouble now. Cycling the land before... Oh, that's lethal. Whoops, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we were never getting there anyway. It's kind of whatever. Losing to John. Yeah, I mean, sometimes your hands just don't work out, right? It happens. I like how you say that, going to win. I mean, it's pretty straightforward though. Like if we draw a Titan, if we draw a land there, like, or a castle, I guess a castle specifically, then just a single Titan is enough to undo everything that my opponent did. And yeah, it's one of the things, like, we're only playing 2 castles here, so of course the chances that we had gotten there were obviously gonna be smaller. Sure, we're gonna keep this, bottom this. So this is a turn 3 Titan. Guess I'm gonna bottom the castle. I'm gonna say that you're wrong at all. Yeah, I mean, I'm right. I can show you how right I am, but yeah, it's something that I often say. We're playing against a Yorion deck. In Data Triumph. So this is Niv. Sometimes the Yorion decks can be like Naya core nonsense, like I streamed last week. This seems to be Niv. And they have Assassin's Trophy mana. See Reco, welcome back. Oh, sweet. Welcome back, as I was saying, to the Primetime Stronghold for the 14th month now. Really appreciate the support. I mean, maybe they were trying to get to Unmoored Eagle. They just needed to buy that 1 turn, and that's not Eagle mana though. That's annoying. That's really good. That's really fucking good right here. Holy shit, is that good. Wow. Holy shit, is that good on this board state. Absolutely insane. Alright, at least we did get to untap there. That's good for us. I probably have to kill this, huh? They don't have Niv mana, which is good for us. And if they have BTL for what's his name? Yeah, so they have BTL for. So they're gonna exile our Titans, but we can still win thanks to Dryad. Out of all the new Titan decks floating around over the last few months, have you been liking the most? Just getting back into playing again. COVID has kept me busy. Been really enjoying the play patterns of Vile personally. Yeah, common sense. The Vile decks have been a blast. Then what's his name has also been really fun. The, like, straight out like green white decks have also been a ton of fun. And I think I am going to transmute for another Pact instead of for Valakut. Or should I transmute for Valakut? I guess I'm going to go for Field, actually. It just gives me more angles of attack. So now I can win through Field, or I can will through Valakut. Okay, that guy we can beat. Particularly when he got no value at all. Okay, so 1, 2, boom. So land, Valakut there, Field trigger. Name, I guess I'm gonna name Dryad. It doesn't matter. We can still kill this guy by ghost quartering ourselves. Oh, they were just F6ing. Okay, so they're gonna need a Wrath kind of right now. If this is a Niv, it's probably not gonna be enough. Just pack it in. All right, sweet. All right, disputes. 3 of those. That's really it. Pact of negation, maybe. Man, that Kaya almost got there. Jeez. That Kaya almost went the distance. Just coming down, blowing up both of my amulets, and I'm like, shit. Mold to 6. I'll keep this. Yeah, Malik, Dryad, it's if you look at the card in Magic Online, it's a Nymph Dryad. It was just like something that they forgot apparently, because I mean it's pretty obvious, right? Like the card is it's called Dryad of the Elysian Grove, and it's a Nymph, but it's not a Dryad. So it was just something that they fucked up. Not bad, particularly if they're gonna be tempting to get me on turn 2. That's a weird one. So turn 1, next turn, sorry, we can play castle. I'm trying to see if there's any way I can hold up dispute. I guess I'm going to value the untapped land over the other things. Fucking up is kind of their brand. Exactly. Black mana might be doable. Having enough swamps is gonna cost you though. You mean for splashing black? Kind of, yeah. Okay. So let's Dryad. Now we're gonna play Castle and say go. See, do I ever finish something like Secret Layers or something so they get their out of the Dryad? Yeah, it's kind of weird that they wouldn't. Yeah, that's annoying. It's not the worst. It is kind of annoying though. 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. We can still Titan next turn because of this amulet. And we protected the amulet for Kaya. Ego. And they played around the dispute perfectly. Secret Layer, things we shouldn't have done. I guess I'm backed in here. I don't really. I mean, I just don't know what else I'm gonna be doing with this pact otherwise. So. Oh, I could have hasted this. Because I think I'm not supposed to play this out. Not this turn, but maybe the next one. So I guess we died to Fulminator Mage. But we would have died to Fulminator Mage regardless. So this doesn't do actual nothing. Sure. So version of the deck I played Grave Titan right ago before Dryad came out, literally laughed out loud at the mana base, it was so bad. Yeah, those were different times, my friend. Those were different times. So now we are going to play out all my stuff because this allows me to actually use Pact of Negation and the Double Dispute. Overall, though, Dead Presence just seems so bad. Only good with Triad, like Valakut is, but with upside, Valakut like turn. Yeah, I mean, it's a meme, right? Yeah, I mean, it's a version of the deck that you would play if you want to have fun. But it's not a competitive version of the deck by any means. Yeah, we're definitely counting that. still holding out Dispute. We're also holding out Pact to Negation as long as my Dryad remains alive. Why is my opponent not attacking and also not blocking is what I don't understand. Like, if you're not attacking, then if you're not blocking, then you should be attacking. That's just kind of how that works. Otherwise, you're just wasting your card. Is my opponent ghosting me? We might be getting ghosted. I'm not ready to call it, but like they declined to get value from the Omnath after I used my dispute. Like, they did not know about the second dispute. They just didn't know about it. Why do I think so? Because they played around the first dispute because they knew it, but like they declined. They actively decided to not get value from one of their Omnath triggers to play around the second dispute that they did not know about. After they made a play to make me use one of my disputes, and then like still, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being silly. It's possible that I'm just being silly because they just like played into it, but it was a weird line, certainly. So, well, I mean, I'm not playing around shit. I'm just like jamming. Oh, Stronghold. How do I miss you? How do I miss you, Stronghold? I miss you so much. I miss you so much, Stronghold. GG's opponent. But yeah, of course, my opponent was nice in chat and everything, so I'm obviously gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. If that's what they were doing, then like props to them, actually. I think that they were almost behind enough to the point where it could be considered to be a mistake to play around the second dispute. Was that you, Mordotelite? I assume it was you. Yeah, at one point you made a play like when you see, so era vos. Yeah, you made a play that I was like, is he looking at the stream or something? Because like you played around the second dispute where you only knew about one, you didn't know about the second one, but you declined yourself a Omnath trigger. Like, you played your land and then you played Omnath, which played perfectly around dispute, but you also declined, like, it was a fetch land, so you basically declined yourself two triggers. Fue de cagón y no tenía que pasar con el mana. Las 4 vidas irrelevantes, creo. No, definitivamente no, si te terminamos corriendo por eso. Creo que las vidas valían. El maná no era medio irrelevante, pero las vidas contaban de una. What were they giving up? The second trigger just gets the more mana they can use. But they didn't get the first one. They wouldn't have been able to get the trigger either, right? And like the fetch lands, actually, the way that he played it, he was forced into using the fetch to gain the 4 life. And the fetch land actually allows them to gain 4 more life because they can fetch on my turn. So that was the thing. Anyway, do we keep this? We are on the draw. My opponent's on a moving on to 6. And we have 5 mana. Stacy Explorer. Yeah, we can do better than this. I mean, this is better. Not by too much, because our mana is a little bit awkward. If this were untapped, I would be a lot more excited about this hand, but like, it's still fine. I'm gonna keep it for sure. Con una llama de correa. Sí, eso es verdad. Eso es verdad. Pero igual, siento que estás como... Sí, puede ser que capaz como que resuelve el Omnath y como que ya ganás de ahí, así que... Pero bueno, sí. No, igual, o sea, jugaste bien si ibas a hacer eso. Me pareció raro nomás. Me pareció raro porque no sabías del dispute y sí sabías del pacto, ¿no? Entonces, no, si no vas a estar jugando alrededor del pacto, porque no podés jugar alrededor del pacto. Fue de cagón. Está bien, a mí te salió bien porque me forzaste el pacto ahí. Oh, hello. Pedí disculpas por culparlo. No, nunca lo culpé, ¿eh? Dije que me pareció una jugada medio rara. Pero no es que dije me parece que nos está bosteando. Dije que podía ser. Sí, impresentable lo mío, ¿viste? Impresentable lo mío. Yo la voy a decir que me paga así. No me hagas sentir mal, borde. No me hagas sentir mal. No, te pido perdón. Nunca debí haber dudado. My opponent is trying to figure out. Siempre tenés de hijo. Opponent trying to figure out which one to bounce. I mean, bounce this one, opponent. You want to hold on to the bounce land in hand. Oh, man, they figure it out. They figure it out. Okay, so play AmuLIT, play field, say go. That's actually low key, not a bad draw. Like I guess any line drop that wasn't a bounce line would have been nice there. Because now I can get Karn on 3 and I'm not setting myself behind. Explosives on 1 and blow it up. Okay. It is kind of annoying. Would love to see an untapped source. How about Karn number 3 instead? I'm probably gonna have to pact for Dryad here on turn 3. I feel like I'm too far behind. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm feeling really far behind though. Yeah. Pact for Dryad. Play Dryad. Play this, play this. Bounce here. I think if they have Titan, I just lose. Which is kind of awkward. I'm glad confounding hasn't been a thing yet. Yeah, for sure. Wait, what? My opponent just missed lethal. So the play was they already had Titan mana, so they cast Titan, they get Vesuva plus Ghost Quarter. Vesuva copies a bounce land, Vesuva bounces itself, it gets replayed as another Ghost Quarter, they Ghost Quarter both of my bounce lands and they win. But now they actually can't do that. They have an AmuLIT and I don't, so I think that I'm still dead. Is there any way that I can stabilize here? Not really. Oh, this is the same thing. Yeah, I guess that this is just the exact same thing. Never mind. So you just get the Vesuva now on the attack trigger. This is actually better. I mean, it's more steps, but it's the same thing. It ends up with us dying to our upkeep back trigger. What's up, Stabs? How's it going? Okay. Amulet. I guess I do like steerings in this matchup. Gotta explore. How does that enter these days? Medium. Medium. I have not yet achieved 80% perfection. Have not achieved 80% perfection just yet, which is the most perfect amount of win rates. But it's been okay. It's been fun. The deck is fun. This hand doesn't do shit. Sounds cool. So we're missing a bounce land here, but we're actually in pretty fine shape. Rough meta, yeah. No 80% meta is the worst kind of meta. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. They can force me, but they can force me regardless. Okay. All of this is okay. So looking for Crumbling Vestige, Semi-Growth Chamber. Oh, sick. Wee. Feels good, man. Two. This is 6. I don't care about Ghost Quartering them really, so just do this. Prime time. Play prime time. Say yes. We are missing a bounce land, but you have a Vesuva, but your opponent does have a bounce land? Kriegasm, right? That's a classic Kriegasm phase. That's my best Kriegasm impersonation. Man, this deck is cool. Yeah, it is. Hell yeah, it is. Hell yeah, this deck is cool. So this is a turn 4 Titan on the draw with any land. Turn 4 Titan on the draw. Turn 4 Titan on the draw. Probably not good enough. This is better. Yeah, this is definitely better. Probably gonna bottom the T-West. My opponent says that they just read my username. Telling them that they're playing well. So keep this, bottom that. Let's go. How many tournaments do I think it's optimal? I've been liking 2/3. 3 has been really nice in the non-Karn versions. Just because the Karn version have so many more threats, so you don't really need them as much. It's just, it really is powerful though. Like it really is very, very powerful. So now we can back for Azusa, we can Karn on 3. So AmuLIT needs to have been their top deck, because otherwise playing it on 1 is so much better for them, particularly when they are when they're behind already. We're gonna have to play the AmuLIT right now, which kind of sucks because I wouldn't want to expose it, but unfortunately I think I have to. And the line is to do this. So now if my opponent doesn't do anything, we can Titan them next turn. Thanks to Castle. We get super blown out by Force of Vigor. Well, I'm definitely not gonna risk it, so I'm gonna go for Karn instead. We're gonna see if they beast within my land or something. They don't. So I am 100% just going for just Karn minus. And we just basically bring the fight on a different axis. So we force them to do stuff. Now if they have the beast within, they have to use it now. They don't. Okay, it's a Gracer. So they can Titan here, thanks to this Gracer, which is good for them. So they are probably going to go after my Karn, which is good. Like, this is what I wanted, right? I wanted to force my opponent to do something. I'm going to see what they do here. So they're probably going to have a Suva, the Handwear, so they can haste. And then on my turn, I can Titan. And I can kill their Titan with my Dryad. This game's tight. We do have the Vistula in hand, which is nice. Is there any way that I can stop lethal? Are we gonna jam Omnath in Titan? No, like Cold Kills jamming Omnath in every deck? Yeah, that seems to be the way. No sabía que hubiera tanto Omnath en el metajuego. ¿Crees que ha llegado para quedarse como uno? Siempre se probará unas semanas y ya. Me parece que es muy bueno. Me parece que es muy, pero muy bueno Sergio, así que no me extrañaría que esté acá para quedarse. Yeah, so my opponent 500%. That is the percentage of chance that my opponent has Beast Within in hand right now. 500, I think it's the correct number. I'm probably gonna go for it regardless. So we go for entitlements here. We kind of have to go for it because we just don't have enough lands to trigger Valakut otherwise. Oh, they don't have it? Okay. Very interesting. Okay, so this puts me in a really good position now. Play Dryad, play fetch land, kill Titan. Always yes, always yes, always yield. And the fetch land also represents an answer to my opponent's Dryad or my opponent's other Titan. So I think that we should be good now, unless they have a Rex Sage maybe, which would make things a little bit more awkward. Ghost Water. So they GQ the Valakut. I can fetch now. This is 9 damage. They go down to 5. Because like I'm not gonna be able to kill the Dryad nor a Titan, so I guess that it's correct for me to just like deal more damage here and limit my opponent's options. Kill there, kill there. Quarter, yes. Snow covered. 5. Whoops. Gotta fix that real quick. Okay, we're good. Okay, but if they don't also have a Dryad, I think we're gonna be fine here. And I think they're not gonna have enough mana to do everything. Unless they already have the Dryad in hand. They're gonna be able to transmute, but not to transmute and also do more stuff. I'm definitely not blocking. Definitely not blocking. But my opponent needs to set up lethal here somehow, and I don't think they have any avenues with just one amulet. GG's opponent. Yep. As we saw Karn doing what it does best, right? Like just forcing your opponent to make the move and then allowing you to pivot and go the Titan route when they have just catching your opponent with their pants down. Before I've seen Chief play some Money Tribal, and that deck looks very fun. You should definitely do it for a Know the Enemy Day. Yeah, I've been thinking about it because it looks fun. It looks fun. It seems like a little bit, probably a little bit more boring than the control decks of yore. Because like it's just a lot more one-dimensional. It's a lot more just like cast my, you know, my big dude, main face, just like, yeah, I don't know. Usually in control mirrors, I love the stack fights, right? Fighting on the stack and trying to make sure that you get the most value out of every single card. And these decks are kind of like meh. Like you don't need to maximize your cards because your cards are so egregious that It's like it's fine. You're gonna figure out a way to win regardless. Like it just doesn't matter. You don't need to maximize your cards to get there. So this hand just needs a bounce land. So we have 8 bounce lands and 2 ancient steerings that we're drawing towards. Okay. So we have 10 draws that are kind of just game over. Easy game, easy life. I think I'm gonna go for Stacy. We're playing against a mid-range deck, so I guess I shouldn't have, because now my opponent can discard plus push. I was thinking that if they discard, then they can't answer my Stacy, but that's just not true. And if they discard plus push, like that's a huge tempo swing for them. Yes, that was a mistake. I should have gone for AmuLIT there. Yeah, this was a turn 1 AmuLIT hand. I messed it up. Fortunately, we have the punt emote now, so... Oh, hell yeah. Let's go, baby. Play that green flare. Play that green flare, opponent. Let's go. Play that green flare, baby. How can I ever beat that, right? Who played the I made a huge mistake? Alright, that's true. You're right.
I've made a huge mistake.
Thank you for keeping me on my toes, Stabs. You are the real hero here. You are the real hero, just keeping me on my toes. Whenever I'm slacking, you're like, dude, wake up. Wake up. Alright, what do we got here? Thoughtseize. You're not gonna like what you see. Main deck surgical extraction? Main deck surgical one time? Peakier Titan. Okay. Oh, just like that? Just all of this just happens? Sick. We have multiple Titans here, so YOLOing seems like the correct line to take. Let's do Field of the Dead, Butcher the Bug. I guess I misplayed this turn. Like, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna win regardless, but I misplayed this turn. If I had actually played a turn Timber Symbiosis, then I would have been able to get some zombies. I mean, I do respect people that go really deep in, you know. Actually, I don't think Stacy's are bad against this matchup because they have no way of just killing your Stacy's Revealed. I guess Liliana the Last Hope, but like that card is so bad against us anyway. So I think that we literally just submit the same 60. I think it's just the same 60 again. Green Flare didn't get there. Sad. I know. It's a sweet card. It's a sweet card. It is not what Modern is about anymore, though. Long gone are the days where Green Flare could hang out in the Modern format and not be embarrassing. To be fair, they weren't that long. Like Green Flare's span in Modern was pretty limited, but so this hand is slow, but so is my opponent's deck, so I'm just gonna hope that it gets me there. Sure, so I'm going to play Symbiosis Stabbed here because there's nothing that I can Steerings into that I'm going to play. So there's no need for me to play the Steerings now. If my opponent wants to Inquisition my Steering Suite, like whatever. That's their turn too, right? So I'm assuming that there's gonna be no... Unless they like Brutality me, there's gonna be no discard spell here. Green Flare. It's good to me. AmuLIT would be great here. Castle is actually not bad. Seems probably better than Karn. Just because Karn feels like it's gonna be really, really slow here. Liliana or Ashiok are the only cards that I'm worried about here. Everything else we can kind of keep up with. That's a Liliana. Yep. The only thing that worries me about Liliana obviously is the ultimate. The good thing is that there are some cards, like if we draw a Dryad here, we force the Lily minus and we're kind of in fine shape. So the best draw here is going to be a Dryad for us. You know this deck is you and you're looking at 6 lands in hand and you want another one from Steerings. Hell yeah. You know it. I mean, my opponent milled Lingering Souls. Like, it's basically broken. It's basically broken. What am I supposed to do here? What am I pitching to Liliana? Probably the Symbiosis. Yeah. The Lily isn't playable in Modern anymore. Is the deck with Modern? I mean, it's pretty close to unplayable right now, if I'm being honest. Lily hasn't been good in Modern in a long time. Batterskull, Lingering Souls. Yeah, my opponent's living the dream over there. It might be enough because my hand is not coming together, but why would they not Bog would be sick. No bog. I guess Stomping Ground tapped in the castle. So we're going to be taking 9 this turn. I think the Lily's going to get us. I think it would have been fine, but the Lily's going to get us. Maybe they have Ashiok. This is whatever. Yeah, that's Ashiok. Yeah, we would have probably been able to stabilize there, but Ashiok's too much. We're so close. We're so close. All right. So they're playing like Battle Skull and shit. Maybe I want one of these. I definitely don't want Force. But maybe I want Rex Sage. Maybe over an Ancient Steerings. Jump Cavern to get around Mana Tithe. Dude, like Spike was playing... this is fine hand. Spike was playing Mana Tithe today. I laughed so hard. This, on the other hand, is... this is a scout draw. Because like if my opponent Inquisitions my AmuLIT, it's kind of whatever. Scout is the reliable form of ramp that we have here. And if they spend their turn 1 kill on my Stacy, then that means that we get to also resolve AmuLIT. So that's also good for us. Do you suggest anything I should put in my bucket list, friend? Like I turn 29 tomorrow, so I'll have a year left to live. Yeah, exactly. You become old as fuck like I am otherwise. Yeah, turn to Karn sounds about right to me. So let's turn to Karn, shall we? What's up? Pretty good way to finish up the league here. Pretty good way to finish up the league here. What a delight. What a delight. What a delight. So this and Hamworth Elements. Haste. Combat. Yes. Tulare West. Field of the Dead. They're not gonna block. This seems pretty tough for them to come back from, huh? Really tough for them to come back from. You turned 32 today. Don't go where I'm going. Brutal. Happy birthday, Shauna, by the way. Wasting my youth playing Magic. Brutal. Yeah, they good old turn 2 Karn into turn 3 Titan plus Stone Rain a land. Yeah, it's just your basic play patterns, you know. That was pretty exciting. 4-1. To be fair, we didn't use the We didn't use the lightning bolt even a single time. I guess we used them against burn, but it was kind of whatever. So what I'm gonna be trying out maybe tomorrow is a similar approach to this one maybe, but I'm going to try to splash a black for blood, whatever, thirst, blood chief thirst, and I want to try those out and see how those work out. Cause yeah, it's interesting, right? Because like you're kind of like choosing what it is that you want to beat, but like for example in this matchup that we just played, if I had been playing Thirst, we can bring that in. We can kill potentially Lilianas. We can kill Goyfs for a single mana. We can kill Grimflayer. So yeah, it's interesting, right? It's interesting to choose like which direction you want to go. But yeah, we saw a very clear difference between like having Scout against something like John and having Scout against something like Abzan, right? Like we just played against the Abzan deck and like they didn't kill Scout on one and they lost after that. To be fair, Abzan is just not a playable strategy anymore. Like the best way to play the mid-range decks is just John. Like it's not even close, and I don't think that anybody can argue otherwise. Even though a black-white Stoneforge deck actually won a challenge this past weekend, which is kind of mind-blowing. But yeah, have I ever played a Yorion AmuLIT deck? I have. It's very bad. I don't recommend it. Probably giving a try to this deck list on my LGS this week. We're playing 2 Turn Timbers here, but you don't need them. I think that they're good. I think that they're very good. But yeah, you don't really actually need them. But yeah, I mean, if you want to buy Turn Timbers, if you're planning on making any purchase of paper cards, you can always support the stream for free and no extra cost to you by using my Play affiliate link. So just throwing that out there. I did feel like I was clunky out of the gates. Like Punt's list has 4 explorers instead of these 2 Turn Timbers. So Punt's list is a lot smoother. Like it just comes out of the gates so much more consistently, which I like a lot. So I don't entirely dislike Turn Timber in this Karn lists. It's more of a matter of I don't think that they should be replacing Explore. I feel like we could be replacing Ancient Steerings, and it could be better. Otherwise, we could also just like not play them at all and just play Explorers regardless. It's actually possible that that's just the better alternative. That's just the better way to go around it, but we never really miss land drops. That's one thing that I find that's so cool. Like you just never, since this card was printed, I feel like the times that I miss land drops or that I am, you know, I keep a hand and I cannot hit my land drops or whatever, it just has gone down drastically. I feel like I am always hitting my land drops now thanks to this card. And that I think is like the biggest thing for the card. And we discussed it in the podcast. If you haven't checked it out, you can check it out there. We discussed it in the podcast, which is going to go live on Thursday, which is the thing with Turn Timber is that a lot of people are thinking about the effect as the goal, when in reality the effect is not the goal. Like the goal is to hit your land drops. So you choose, like, do you want these to be a forest or like, I don't know, like a Crowned Vestige or something like that? Or do you want these to be a land that might give you a shot at a Titan later in the game? And that is the only question that you should be asking yourself. I've heard about people trying to, you know, like trying to fit more Azuzas or trying to fit more creatures into the deck in order to make Turn Timber better, and that's just the worst approach about it. That's the worst way that you can think of this card. This is just a land that taps for green mana that you can play, and that in your late game it gives you a shot at a Titan. Yes, it's going to whiff a significant portion of the time, but you have to think that those times that you whiff on the card, you wouldn't be doing anything else with your mana. So by this card being in your deck, it gave you a shot at finding a Titan or finding a Dryad or finding whatever, and it's I don't want to say free, but like the cost is definitely worth it. So yeah. No, this plays 3 basics. There's 2 forests and 1 snow forest. Yeah, I would never play below 3 basics. 3 is the bare minimum in my opinion. I would never play a list without 3 basics at least. Is to try the new land by the moment I have you playing the Reclaimer. Oh, Sergio, yeah. No, I mean the Reclaimer version is just awesome. So yeah, I had no idea how to explain that to someone. I just couldn't find the words. Yeah, Steffi, like we discussed it in the podcast, and we go super in depth talking about it. So I have some pretty how can I say it? I have some pretty set thoughts about this card specifically because I've been asked about it so many times. So I'm honestly considering just making a video about it, just making like a short video, like a 10-minute video, and just discuss it on YouTube or whatever. But yeah, the floor is what matters. That's a good way of putting it, Stav. Is like you're playing this because it's a tapped land, right? It's an untapped land. You're playing this because it's an untapped land. It gives you a shot at a Titan. If that shot is 20%, whatever. Like I don't care about which percentage it's giving me. I before with a forest I had a 0% shot at a Titan. Now with this I have a 20%. That is a 20% increase. I will take it. If the chance at finding a Titan is like 5%, still whatever. It's not the point. You're not playing this because of that effect. You are playing it because it is a source of mana in the early game that can turn into a threat in the late game. It can turn it into a threat in the late game. So you're playing it for a chance at a good card, basically. And Dab G source is a real upset. Yeah, exactly, Colby. Alright, sweet. So I'm going to be testing throughout the rest of this week for the showcases that are going to be happening this weekend. So you're going to expect a lot of AmuLIT happening this week. Maybe I will play some Green-White Reclaimer or Green-White Titan. Maybe that is something that I'm interested in testing out as well. I mean, that is definitely something I'm interested in testing as well. So you can expect also to see some Green-White Titan. But for now, this is going to be it for me. I will see you all tomorrow. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for checking it out. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and bye-bye.